Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to be reviewing Todd Rundgren's Healing. This is Todd Rundgren's ninth studio album. It was released in January 28, 1981. By the time he made this record, Todd's career was already 20 years old in the music industry. And this time period for Todd was all over the place. He had developed one of the first digital paint programs for the Apple II using the Apple Digitizer tablet. He produced a video for RCA to help demo their video disc player, which was the precursor to the CD player. And he got robbed. He and his girlfriend both got tied up in their own home. Todd would later say that he thought they were looking for cocaine because he didn't have any. In this album, we can hear Todd healing himself and the world. You can definitely hear the kind of emotion you would have after being robbed, though. Todd was the kind of man that was involved in a lot of different projects. He was in numerous bands. He released a number of solo albums. He produced audio, video. He was involved in computer engineering, coding, and politics. He was the Donald Glover of the 1980s. He is one of those forces that is not popularly recognized today, but you can feel the ripples of his influence in modern society. All right, let's take a look at the songs off the record and see how they fare. First song is Healer. This attempts to combine Middle Eastern and European harmonic traditions over an instrumental that wants to be a classic 80s ballad. I feel it does the job. Todd makes a very heavy use of digital toms, and I'm here for it. There's kind of this overarching theme of rhythm that I'm going to address later in the video. Pulse. The intro combines sounds of footsteps, a kick, multiple synth plugs to create a network of pulses that's really kind of overwhelming. The lyrics describe music pulling you into another world, and then all of a sudden all the instruments cut out and it's just a xylophone doing those same pulses, and the lyrics continue on. So there is like a transition into the world that we experience, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be read into that deeply. Actually, it is. This is Todd Rundgren. He's like a concept guy. Flesh is grandiose with some passionate vocals from Todd, where he is explaining that our actions are our own and that our fleshes are our own. This is a song about responsibility and how we are in charge of our own destiny. Features a lot of background vocals from Todd himself. Honestly, there are times where this song stresses me out. Golden Goose is simultaneously my favorite song and my least favorite song on this album. If you can survive the first half, then it ends up being somehow pretty good. It kind of sounds like that clown music. It's kind of like kombucha. You know what I'm saying? It's an acquired taste. You sit through it for a little bit. You take the first couple sips. You're like, this is disgusting. Then you can feel your gut biome getting better, and you're like, okay, maybe this is worth it. This song, though, is about it's an allegory to for him and the music industry and other artists as well, where they're the golden goose and the music industry is coming in and trying to take away things, push the golden goose so hard that he ends up dying. Sometimes the music isn't about healing, sometimes it is just him healing. And again, I'm going to address that more later. Compassion is very straightforward, both sonically and lyrically. Todd's got some interesting harmonic moments, but otherwise is a traditional 80s ballad. And I counted, and Todd says the word compassion 24 times. Shine concludes the first side of the record with a lot of callbacks to the first song, Healer. It starts as a piano and vocal song only that's passionate and full of delay, but then the piano fades and we're introduced to the next section by the piano being played reversed, and then all of a sudden the energy is cranked up to 11, big, fast, percussive, almost completely synth sounds. This is an 8-minute song, by the way, and I don't think it needed to be. Healing Part 1 is 7 minutes of jazzy thoughtfulness. Every once in a while, Todd comes in, he sings and tells us to listen to the voice that's not in the music, or the sound that's not in the music, and is the breath of life. Healing Part 2 is a 7-minute calming motivational song, crashing waves, multiple flutes and sounds, vocals. It's kind of like one of those self-healing, you know what I'm talking about? Then there's Healing Part 3. Healing Part 3 is a regular length song at 3 minutes, and it is where he tells us to listen to the voice. It features a lot of percussive sounds, and it's honestly kind of boring because the only non-vanilla thing about it is how busy it is. Now, the last two songs are pretty regular, so I'm going to address what I was talking about earlier. Throughout the album, there's kind of been extremes. Either things have been really calm or things have been incredibly busy. And I mean like a lot of rhythmic space being taken up. Not a lot of places to breathe, except for in songs like Golden Goose, honestly, is pretty consistent, average in its use of rhythmic space. But everything else is, I mean, sonically Lots of drums, lots of synth, lots of different types of instruments, and rhythmically, like every single 16th or 32nd note is used. It seems like. I think that kind of plays into him dealing with his trauma of being robbed. If he's focused on healing, he's probably got a lot of chaos going on. It's some at times it comes off as preachy, and yet if you sit back and listen, you can feel the discord within him. Ironically, does bring us to the next song, which is Time Heals. The music video for this song was one of the first to be played on MTV. The song is fun, straightforward, easy to digest, excellent groove. It sounds like just a classic song from the 80s. My only critique is that it's a little basic. Tiny Demons is very interesting. I talked earlier about discord that he had within him. This is a revelation, a more dramatic revelation of that, in my opinion, especially lyrically. Because up until this point, we have heard how healing and strength and danger all come from oneself. But here he blames a lot of his hardships on tiny demons, which could be a little nod to you know what I'm saying? It's still clearly a show of cognitive dissonance because he's denying his personal responsibility. At least that's how it comes across to me. This song sounds like a cop show song. Like it's got that kind of like low guitar sound that you hear. Not a bass guitar, but the low strings. It's got one of the best drum arrangements on the record, in my opinion. Kind of a chaotic album, but Todd is a chaotic person. He did a lot of things, at least everything I've been exposed to of him has been chaotic. He's very particular. I don't think there's anything he just did just because, but that also there was no time wasted on this album. I think that he just genuinely wanted to create some sort of anxiety with these long builds that had payoffs. And that's okay. That's a good choice you can make. But I feel like some of these longer songs don't need to be that long, and it actually detracts from the overall message. That being said, this album was a very interesting listen to. I wouldn't call it fun because this is a concept album and it came at a really weird time for him. If you were going to listen to just one song on the record, one song that I think encapsulates what I've seen of Todd Rundgren, Golden Goose. Genuinely survive the first half of that song and you'll start singing the lyrics with it. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me either, but it does get catchy and you start to appreciate the melody of the chorus, especially. A weird song, embrace its weirdness and you'll enjoy it. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe. If you didn't enjoy the video, hit like and subscribe. It's not gonna hurt you, you know what I mean? Yeah, have a great day. Um, um, Anyways, yeah. Um,